This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Pockets and my camera 4K. Yeah. I need like a cage. Yes, oh my God, see all accessories? No, hi. Who are you? I'm Sara, I'm from another multiverse. I'm here to warn you. See, I bought too many cameras, I drained my bank account, and then I just stopped making YouTube videos. I actually had to finish my engineering degree. Anyways, I'm filthy rich, but I'm not happy. I'm really jealous of the moon vloggers. But there's more to videos than new gear. And I think you should remind the people that, you know, make a new video about it. Okay, yeah. You're right, I am gonna make this video. It's not just about me buying my 6th or 7th camera that I don't need, but it's for the greater good. It's for you guys who maybe are buying your first camera or your 6th camera and you need to think a little bit before you drop the thousands of dollars. So welcome to 7 things you need to know before buying a camera, period. Okay, so if you're coming to this video, hopefully you have a little bit of camera knowledge, but I would break cameras down into 3 categories: cinema, DSLR, and mirrorless. So these cinema cameras, they're bigger, they take more money to rig them up, they're bulkier, you can't take them anywhere and everywhere. So that's kind of why I go with the mirrorless route. They're very, very versatile. The Sony a7 III is great for pictures, great for video. It has 4K up to 30 frames per second, has slow-mo, we're good to go. DSLRs are kind of bulky and honestly, they're kind of so 4 years ago. Sorry, Canon, I used to love you. We'll get to Canon later. They still have value. Even though the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K is relatively cheap in terms of cinema cameras and it gives you that look, you still gotta rig it up and it really is maybe a good studio camera. I also have a ton of experience with the original Blackmagic Pocket Cinema cameras and what I remember going through with, you know, adapting my Canon lens to it, getting a speed booster so you can really have more depth than that tiny sensor gives you. It's work to use that camera. So me personally right now, I'm like, I don't want to do that work. My a7 III is good for right now. I still kind of want to buy more cameras right now. Okay, moving on to number 2. I think I'm getting better balancing on this. Okay, number 2, lenses. If the camera body is half the equation, the lenses is the other half. Like I said earlier, I started on Canon, even though their DSLR bodies don't really interest me anymore. That L glass, it has a history. It's beautiful, punchy, contrasty, but also it's everywhere because it has decades and decades of a legacy. So 1, you can find them used everywhere. And number 2, don't be stupid like me and just sell off all of your glass because glass is an investment. What's funny about the EF mount is you can adapt it to literally any body. So if I just kept, wow, there's like a theme of regret already. If I kept that L glass, the EF mount, I could mount it with an adapter or a speed booster to really any camera out there. However, once you start talking about adapting and speed boosters, I will remind you, if you're strictly into photography and autofocus is key, just buy native glass. Don't worry about adapting. But if you're doing a lot of video, you're manually focusing anyways, honestly, you could just buy EF glass and you could be fine from your first DSLR to a mirrorless to a cinema camera. But where I found myself in the world of mirrorless, having Sony system, Panasonic, I just buy native glass and I'm going to be much slower to selling it off because Micro Four Thirds glass that I use in my GH5, guess what? It works on the Blackmagic. So there is some crossover with different body systems. Just make sure to learn about Micro Four Thirds, EF mount, F mount, E mount. Each camera system will have a different mount and there's certain rules on what adapting you can do. Check. Number 3 and 4 kind of go together. So I said the lens and the body are half and half, but those together I would say are 60%, 70%, and then the rest is audio and lighting. My pie chart is really getting confusing. This was the first thing I thought of when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy some new cameras. I was like, no, Sara, you need to work on your lighting. You need to work on your audio. Just adding a $200 lav system makes the world's difference instead of like being lazy and just using a shotgun mic on top of your camera. In an office like this, which is kind of big and echoey, that wasn't cutting it. And just taking that extra step to add a lav mic makes the world's difference. Also, just adding kind of just like a soft box. This is the Aperture 120D. So my next steps, I don't know what this looks like for you, is to replace these ugly fluorescent lights that are, it's awful. Maybe add some more 120Ds, space it out, have some diffusion, and also get rid of this echo. Drop a couple K on those, the sound boards, the sound panels. So my voice has less places to bounce off of. So you don't just have to think about the mic, you have to think about the environment, and just adding a super soft light source. Don't get those ugly LED panels from Amazon, or I mean you can, just make sure they're diffused. A soft light source makes a difference. Moving on to number 5. What the, whoa, Sarah, I'll take it from here. Thank you Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Squarespace is responsible for the millions of creators around the world who use their tools in order to make their creative ideas come to life. Sarah, I love your website. It's a great way for your subscribers to keep up with what gear you're using, even though I would like for you to rein that, gear habit back a little. And Squarespace's all-in-one platform, you can claim a domain, build your website, market your brand, and sell online. Squarespace has so many beautiful templates to choose from, depending on what project you're doing, from your side hustle to your main gig. If you're a photographer, if you're a designer, you can build that beautiful portfolio custom to your needs. If you run into a problem, no worries. Squarespace has your back with 24/7 customer support via email or chat. I know when Sara was building her website, she talked to them for hours and hours on how to figure out how to change the colors of the tiles on her homepage. How do you know that? I know everything. I'm all-knowing. So go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to purchase that domain or a website, you can go to squarespace.com/saradietschy to get 10% off your first purchase. Okay, Sara, thanks for letting me do that. That was fun. Okay, goodbye forever. Alt Sara over here is getting a little annoying. Let's just get some fresh air because it is spring in NYC. It's spring, it's beautiful. I'm in a t-shirt. Look how green it is. So pretty.
This is weird.
Being outside. Yeah, I know. Okay, number 5, we're talking color. I figured we should probably get outside, out of my dreary office if we're talking about color. Every system is different. Canon, they're known for really good skin tones and really good right out of the box good color. You probably won't have to color grade it. A real life example is Casey. His vlogs, 0 color, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's just straight up Canon color. Sony has flatter picture profiles, so you have more versatility in color grading, but you kind of have to know what you're doing in order to make it look good. Fuji film cameras, they have the film simulations, like their color is bomb, it's amazing. Really, it comes down to how much work do you want to do in post-production. Of course, people are always concerned about image resolution. Does it shoot 4K? However, you got to think about color resolution. I talk about Sony all the time, but it really maxes out at 8-bit. Why we go back to GH5s is it records in 10-bit. Those pixels are just so dense in their color and prettiness. There's just a certain depth to it. More colors, more information in those said pixels, well, that just means more flexibility in post. You could probably push the exposure on a GH5 clip more than a classic clip from my A7 III. Dynamic range, like how many stops of dynamic range, that's another thing. Just Google it, guys, okay? Google things. I was filming a video in the office, but it's such a beautiful spring day. You gotta take a step outside. Yes, New York. What are we talking about next? Especially for you video, rent. Don't be scared of renting. If you want to test out a camera before buying it, lensrentals.com is a good solution. Rent something for 3 days for only like 50 to 100 bucks. Buy used. Oh my gosh, buy used. I started my entire career on used Canon gear. Do it on Craigslist though, because then you can meet the person, feel the camera, see if it's working, and then you fork over the money. Remember, use the buddy system so you don't get kidnapped. I don't see where I'm going. Number 7. Don't follow trends. I know me and other people are constantly making new videos on what is hot with the new cameras nowadays. But a lot of times the research and looking up what gear you need, the new gear, takes up more time than you could actually be going outside and learning the ins and outs of the camera you already have. This happened recently with me with the DJI like GoPro wannabe thing. Honestly, the stabilization, amazing. I was watching Peter's example. immediately I was like, I need this. I need this. Do I need this? No. I have like 3 GoPros. I have a GoPro 7, like I'm good. You have to evaluate your priorities, and during that time you just ask, do I know the ins and outs of my current camera? Is there more I can learn? Can I push it to its limits? Oh, yes, I sometimes do go outside. I know it's hard to believe. Anyways, let me know if you like this video. If you have any more questions, if you're a first-time camera buyer, or maybe you just want to step things up, let me know, and I'm gonna try to be down there in the comments answering your questions. Make sure to check out my Squarespace link, 10% off. Is it my Squarespace link or is it her Squarespace link? We share links. But thank you so much for watching. New podcast maybe at some point soon. Make sure to keep up with me on the socials. By the time that you're viewing this, I'm probably going to either be in Taiwan or South Korea, which is very exciting. I get to meet John's grandma who lives in South Korea, who he hasn't seen in 20 years. I probably won't make a YouTube video about it, but if you want to follow me on Instagram stories, I don't even say Instagram now, I just say like Instagram stories. Anyways, let me know if you like this video. Hit that subscribe button down below for new videos every single weekend. Until next time, guys, stay peachy. Okay, bye.
Even when I'm down in the darkness, you call my name out loud. Used to think I had to do it on my own, but I'm never alone now. Even when I'm down in the darkness, you call my name out loud. Used to think I had to do it on my own, but I'm never alone now.